The Game Awards 2017 are in the bag. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild took home the big prize, but what else was cool at last night's show? I'm Ghost Robo, and let's find out. What's going on, everybody? Last night was a lovely 2.5-hour show celebrating the year that was in gaming. As always, Jeff Keighley came packed with guests, surprises, some slow moments, but overall a pretty solid show. It began with a tease from Software, and a lot of people think it's Bloodborne 2, some people think it's a new Tenchu, some people think it's something entirely different, but it does say Shadows Die Twice and have a very bloody, bony image. I'm going to go with Bloodborne 2, more coming at PSX this weekend. Seems like a good fit. They also showed off, and I think this has to be mentioned near the top, an 8-minute long piece of insanity from Kojima Productions and Death Stranding. What the heck is that game? I had really weird, like, alien vibes. All of a sudden, they're on this, like, planet with these weird flashlight tails, and there's invisible monsters that turn people old, and then their skin becomes gold, and then there's babies on these weird chambers on their chest, and then all of a sudden Norman Reedus, we're inside his esophagus, and a baby is there and shoots us with gun fingers, and then we pop out of his esophagus, and there's things floating in the sky, giant monsters with weird appendages and Cthulhu faces. That game is insane. But for some reason, I really love the direction of it. First of all, it's using the same engine as Horizon Zero Dawn, so that's freaking awesome graphically. And second of all, Kojima kind of is like off the rails. Like, it doesn't have to be Solid Snake, it doesn't have to be Metal Gear, it just gets to be his own creation, his own insanity. I don't think that game is coming still for some time, but I'm pretty darn pumped to play it just because it's out of this world. It's so an esophagus baby inside of Norman Reedus. Like, enough said. We also got to see Campo Santo's new game, In the Valley of Gods. Not coming till 2019, but it looks like another awesome story-driven environmental game based in southeastern Utah, if we're to believe that it's in Valley of the Gods, which I believe it is. Looking very cool, a nice art style, and again, even though Firewatch did not pan out exactly how I wanted, I still think that was a title to remember, and definitely had some really exciting and interesting pieces, and just story-wise was a good time, so I'm looking forward to that. We got to see another trailer for Metro Exodus. I was expecting more gameplay. Thought that was kind of a bit of a letdown. I'm still super pumped for the game. It comes out fall 2018, but not a whole lot in terms of sizzle in that small trailer. Nintendo came through in a big way. They gave a pretty good look at Zelda Breath of the Wild DLC Pack 2 and the Champion's Ballad, and then said, hey, it's out tonight, which I think is super freaking cool. You know, when stuff like that happens, it's rare, but it's so awesome. It feels so good to be like, hey, you like this? You want it? You got it. And I think Nintendo has come through in 2017 in such a way that was like the perfect, hey, we get it. We get it now. Switch gets it now. We're getting third parties now. And they followed that up by announcing Bayonetta 2 plus 1 pack. And it's really Bayonetta 2 with Bayonetta 1 downloadable on, like, you get a code for it or whatever, which is a little odd. I'm surprised it wasn't marketed as a Bayonetta 1 plus 2, but I think given the fact that Bayonetta 2 was Wii U exclusive, they mainly want to focus on that game and give that another chance to shine. And then out of nowhere, Bayonetta 3 as well. So Platinum really picking up a lot of projects from Nintendo. Bayonetta 3, Switch exclusive, no date. Not sure if that's something that's far along in development or just begun. We heard recently that Platinum was investigating internally, like, did they have an idea for Bayonetta 3? And Nintendo clearly liked what they had going on. Hellblade picked up quite a few, or at least a couple interesting wins, which was nice. I think that game, while not being like Game of the Year, was a really poignant story and just captured emotions very well. So I'm glad to see that get recognized. Like I mentioned at the top, Breath of the Wild wins Game of the Year, which I'm happy about. You know, the fact that Nintendo gets to win Game of the Year, and the Switch in its first year had 2 titles up for Game of the Year, and one of them actually takes home the prize. Pretty darn awesome. And I think, frankly, like, if I look at it objectively, that's the game that should have won. Subjectively, maybe not my choice. Objectively, I think they made the right call, and I think Breath of the Wild is freaking incredible in just the ways that a game of the year should be. PubG did not win, but they did show off the new desert map. They showed off a little bit more of Xbox One gameplay heading on December 12th. They talked 1.0, and they, touted their 24 million players, which is an insane number. There are a lot of orchestral pieces as well. We got to hear from a man on a mission. The Way Out guy talked, and he had things to say about the Oscars, and yikes, that was a weird moment. They paid tribute to Andrew House, thought maybe we'd get something PlayStation, but that's probably all being saved for PSX, and that makes good sense. Like I said, there were some moments where you're like, okay, like, this thing doesn't need to be 2.5 hours, but I do think that they have nailed the format and the formula, and it ran very smoothly, and overall was like a good show. I like that it puts gaming in a good light. It feels professional. It feels really like it should be there. It doesn't have the vibe of something like on Spike TV in the past where it's like, what's going on? I liked it. It was pretty cool. My favorite moment, I really like Zelda being announced, or hey, it's coming out tonight. I think that's really freaking cool. The Death Stranding trailer was incredibly interesting. Dreams, the people who made Little Big Planet, their game looks pretty cool. It's coming 2018. And let me not forget Soul Calibur 6. I think I put that out of my mind because it didn't get announced for Switch, which I was hoping for. But it's coming to PS4, Xbox One, and PC in 2018, and I know a lot of people are pumped for the return of that. Also, let me make note of Witchfire, a very crazy-looking game. It is a dark fantasy shooter. Definitely check that one out. Thought that looked pretty cool. And THQ Nordic announced Fade into Silence, which comes out next week on Steam Early Access, and it reminds me of a winter State of Decay. So I think that's pretty darn cool. Let me know your favorite announcement from the Game Awards. If there's anything I missed that you thought was awesome, let me know in the comments down below. Talk at me about what was discussed and announced. Death Stranding, Champion's Ballad, From Software's tease, what that could be in the Valley of Gods, Soul Calibur 6, Bayonetta 1, 2, and 3, Death Stranding, Insanity, Babies in Esophaguses, and Witchfire. That game looked all sorts of insane. Sea of Thieves also coming in March with a really, really cool controller. Anyhow, everybody, thanks so much for watching. Hope you're having a fantastic day, and enjoy the show. Give me your take, and I will be reading them. So until next time, thanks again. Have a fantastic day. I love you. Drinks much all. Congrats to Zelda and all the winners. And until next time, we will see you all later.